Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. My name is Amir Merchant from G.E.M.S Immigration Services. I am a licensed immigration advisor for New Zealand and a former migration agent for Australia, currently based at our head office in Auckland. On this channel, we share practical guidance on visa processes, immigration pathways, investment and citizenship options, and related topics to help you make informed decisions. If you are unsure about your visa options, or planning your next step, consider subscribing and enabling notifications so you stay updated with the latest developments. What if you have finally completed an international adoption process? Your child is ready to begin a new life in New Zealand. Your family is emotionally prepared for the next chapter, but there is one final immigration process standing between your child and their journey to New Zealand. And what if a small mistake in that visa application could delay the entire process for weeks or even months? Today, we are covering one of the most emotionally important and legally sensitive visa categories in the New Zealand immigration system, the Adoption Pre-Citizenship Visitor Visa. This visa is not just paperwork. This visa represents the transition period between international adoption and full New Zealand citizenship recognition for an adopted child. And because children are involved, Immigration New Zealand examines these applications extremely carefully. So in this comprehensive video, we are going deep into the complete Adoption Pre-Citizenship Visitor Visa application process for New Zealand in 2026. We will cover who can apply, who cannot apply, the exact eligibility requirements, how international adoption laws affect immigration outcomes, the documents you absolutely must prepare, the biggest reasons applications get delayed or refused, health and character requirements, sponsorship rules, travel preparation, border arrival procedures, citizenship processing issues, and the hidden details most people never hear about. And if you are currently adopting a child internationally or planning an overseas adoption connected to New Zealand, this video could save you enormous stress, delays, and confusion. Because here is the truth. Many families focus heavily on the adoption itself but underestimate how important the immigration stage becomes afterward. Let's begin. First of all, what exactly is the New Zealand Adoption Pre-Citizenship Visitor Visa? This visa allows an adopted child from overseas to enter and stay in New Zealand temporarily while their New Zealand citizenship application is still being processed. In simple terms, the child has already been legally adopted or is in the process of having their adoption recognized under New Zealand law, and the New Zealand citizen adoptive parent wants the child to come to New Zealand before citizenship approval is finalized. Now, this is very important. This visa category is specifically connected to adopted children. It is not a general visitor visa, and it is not automatically granted simply because an overseas adoption exists. Immigration New Zealand carefully checks whether the adoption is legally recognized under New Zealand law for immigration purposes. And this is where many people become surprised, because not every overseas adoption is automatically accepted in New Zealand. Some countries have different adoption systems, guardianship arrangements, customary adoptions, or legal procedures that may not fully align with New Zealand immigration requirements. That means the immigration assessment does not just focus on the child. It also focuses on the legality and recognition of the adoption itself. Now let's talk about who can apply. Generally, the adoptive parent must be a New Zealand citizen, and the adopted child must already have a citizenship application lodged or in progress with the Department of Internal Affairs. This visa acts as a temporary bridge while the citizenship process continues. And here is a very important detail many applicants miss. The adoptive parent must usually provide evidence that there are no major barriers preventing the child from being granted New Zealand citizenship. That evidence becomes extremely important in the visa assessment process. Now let's talk about the first major stage, the adoption recognition issue. This is one of the biggest hidden complexities in these applications. Some parents assume that once an overseas court grants an adoption order, New Zealand immigration automatically accepts it. Not always. Immigration New Zealand may examine whether the adoption complies with New Zealand legal standards. This can involve reviewing foreign court orders, adoption certificates, legal custody arrangements, Hague Convention processes where relevant, and evidence showing the adoption is genuine and lawful. And this is why document quality becomes critical. Poorly translated adoption papers, incomplete legal records, inconsistent names, missing signatures, or unclear custody documentation can create major delays. Now let's move into the actual application process step by step. Step number 1 is gathering identity documents for the child. This includes the child's passport if available, birth certificate, adoption documentation, court orders, identity photographs, and any legal records connected to the adoption process. Now, here is something many families do not realize. The child's passport validity matters a lot. Ideally, the passport should remain valid well beyond the intended period of stay in New Zealand because short passport validity can create travel complications, airline boarding problems, and visa validity limitations. Next comes evidence relating to the adoptive parents. At least one adoptive parent generally needs to be a New Zealand citizen. This means you may need documents such as a New Zealand passport, citizenship certificate, or New Zealand birth certificate. And remember this, immigration officers do not simply assume relationships are genuine because adoption paperwork exists. They assess the entire background carefully. Now let's discuss one of the most important requirements, proof that the child has applied for New Zealand citizenship. This is absolutely critical for the adoption pre-citizenship visitor visa. Families usually need evidence from the Department of Internal Affairs confirming the citizenship process is underway and indicating there are no obvious obstacles identified at that stage. Without this, the visa application may struggle significantly. Now let's talk about health requirements. Because children are involved, health assessments are taken seriously. Depending on the child's age, country background, medical history, and intended stay duration, Immigration New Zealand may request medical examinations or chest x-rays. However, younger children may sometimes have modified requirements. And here is an important point. Do not hide medical information. Some parents fear that disclosing health conditions may create problems. But non-disclosure can create far bigger issues later. Always provide truthful and complete information. Now let's move into financial requirements. Even though the child is adopted, Immigration New Zealand still wants reassurance that the child will be financially supported in New Zealand. This can include evidence of bank statements, sponsorship arrangements, accommodation plans, income records, or proof the adoptive parents can meet all living costs. And here is another hidden issue. Large sudden deposits in bank accounts can trigger scrutiny. Immigration officers prefer stable financial patterns rather than temporary money movements made purely for visa purposes. Consistency matters enormously. Now let's discuss sponsorship. Some adoptive parents use sponsorship arrangements. If sponsorship is involved, the sponsor must usually demonstrate they can genuinely support the child during the stay in New Zealand. That means providing financial evidence, employment records, accommodation evidence, and supporting documentation. Weak sponsorship evidence can delay applications significantly. Now, here comes one of the most sensitive parts of the process, genuine intentions. Immigration New Zealand wants confidence that the visa conditions will be respected. Even though this is a child-focused visa, immigration officers still assess whether the application genuinely aligns with New Zealand immigration law. They assess the adoption history, custody arrangements, travel plans, family background, and overall credibility of the application. And because international child movement is involved, scrutiny can be very detailed. Now let's discuss translations. This is one of the biggest reasons applications become delayed. Many adoption records come from non-English speaking countries. Every important document generally needs proper certified English translations, not partial translations, not self-translations, not informal translations from friends, professional certified translations. And remember this, if names, dates, or places are translated inconsistently across documents, that can create confusion and possible verification delays. Now let's talk about the online application process itself. Most applications are submitted online through Immigration New Zealand systems, and this is where organization becomes critical. Upload clean documents, use proper file names, ensure scans are clear, double check passport numbers, double check birth dates, double check legal names, because even small inconsistencies involving children can create major delays. Now, another extremely important point, the visa application should clearly explain the overall timeline, when the adoption occurred, when citizenship was lodged, why the child needs to travel before citizenship approval, who will care for the child, where the child will live, and how the child will be supported in New Zealand. A strong explanation letter can dramatically improve clarity for immigration officers. Now let's discuss processing times. Some families expect immediate approvals because children are involved, but immigration processing can still take time, especially if additional verification checks are required. And international adoption cases often involve multiple agencies, foreign documents, legal reviews, and identity verification. This is why early preparation matters so much. Do not wait until the last minute to prepare documents. Now, here is another important warning. Do not book expensive non-refundable flights too early. Many families emotionally rush into making travel arrangements before visa approval. If delays happen, that can create enormous stress and financial loss. Now let's discuss what this visa allows. Generally, the child can stay temporarily in New Zealand while citizenship processing continues. The child may also be able to study for a limited duration under visitor visa conditions. However, the child cannot work under this visa category. And here is another critical detail. This visa is temporary. Families must continue following the citizenship process carefully. Now let's discuss what happens at the airport. Even after visa approval, border officers still have authority to assess entry upon arrival. This surprises many people. Families should travel with all important supporting documents: passport, visa approval, adoption documents, citizenship application evidence, accommodation details, contact details, medical records if relevant, and documents showing the adoptive relationship. Border officers may ask questions calmly and professionally to verify circumstances. That is completely normal. Now let's talk about one of the biggest hidden risks in these applications: unrecognized adoptions. Some overseas adoptions may not automatically meet New Zealand legal recognition standards. This can happen in cases involving private arrangements, incomplete legal procedures, customary practices, or guardianship systems that do not amount to full adoption recognition under New Zealand immigration law. And this is where professional advice becomes extremely important, because immigration law and family law can intersect heavily in these cases. Now let's discuss another issue families rarely think about: travel consent and custody concerns. If biological parents are still legally involved, or if custody arrangements are unclear, immigration officers may require additional documentation. This is especially important in countries where parental rights processes differ significantly from New Zealand legal standards. Now, another major topic: medical insurance. Even when not mandatory, comprehensive medical insurance is highly recommended. Unexpected healthcare costs can become very expensive, especially for children. Strong insurance coverage demonstrates preparation and responsibility. Now let's discuss school issues. Some families want children to begin school immediately after arriving in New Zealand, but visitor visa conditions matter. In many situations, visitor visa study rights are limited. Families planning long-term schooling should carefully assess future visa or citizenship pathways. Now, here is something many applicants underestimate: communication consistency. If adoption records, immigration forms, sponsorship letters, and citizenship applications all tell slightly different stories, immigration officers notice. Consistency across all government applications is extremely important. Now let's talk about application presentation strategy. The strongest applications are usually highly organized. Chronological timelines, clearly labeled documents, professional explanations, logical evidence flow, and clean translations. Remember this: immigration officers handle enormous volumes of applications. A well-organized application helps reduce uncertainty, and reduced uncertainty often helps applications move more smoothly. Now let's discuss possible reasons for delays or refusals. Number one, unclear adoption recognition. Number two, missing legal documents. Number three, poor translations. Number four, citizenship application concerns. Number five, financial weaknesses. Number six, identity inconsistencies. Number seven, custody concerns. Number eight, weak sponsorship evidence. Number nine, health-related issues requiring further assessment. And number 10, incomplete applications. Now here is another important point many families overlook: social media and digital footprint consistency. Yes, immigration authorities may sometimes review publicly available information. If online information contradicts the adoption timeline or family circumstances presented in the application, that can create unnecessary scrutiny. Now let's discuss staying longer. If citizenship processing takes longer than expected, additional visas may sometimes be required to keep the child lawfully in New Zealand. Families should monitor expiry dates very carefully. Never assume visa extensions are automatic. Now, another extremely important issue: overstaying. Even though this is a child-related case, immigration compliance still matters. Maintaining lawful immigration status is essential. Now let's talk about the emotional side of these applications. International adoption journeys are often emotionally intense. Families are excited. Children may already feel connected to their future home, but immigration processing still requires patience and professionalism. Emotional urgency does not replace legal requirements, and families who remain calm, organized, and prepared often navigate the process far more successfully. Now let's discuss practical tips to strengthen your application dramatically. Provide a detailed cover letter. Include organized timelines. Use professional certified translations. Ensure legal names match across all documents. Provide complete adoption records. Include strong financial evidence. Maintain honest disclosures. Respond quickly to immigration requests, and avoid unnecessary contradictory information. Now, here is a very important reality check. Every case is different. Different countries have different adoption systems, different legal processes, different citizenship procedures, different documentation standards. So comparing your case to another family online can be misleading. One family may receive approval quickly, another may experience extended verification checks. Every application is assessed individually. Now let's talk about timing strategy. Early preparation is critical. Adoption-related immigration matters often involve multiple agencies and international paperwork. Waiting until travel deadlines approach can create panic. Professional planning reduces stress dramatically. Now, another hidden issue: incomplete translations of adoption orders. Some applicants only translate portions of legal documents. That can create major problems because immigration officers may need the full legal context. Always ensure complete certified translations are provided where required. Now let's discuss the importance of honesty. Never attempt to hide adoption complications, custody concerns, previous immigration issues, or identity discrepancies. Immigration authorities are trained to identify inconsistencies, and credibility is one of the most important parts of any immigration process. Now, before we finish, let's summarize the core success formula for a strong adoption pre-citizenship visitor visa application. A legally recognized adoption, a valid citizenship application in progress, strong identity documentation, clear financial support, proper translations, consistent information, professional presentation, and complete transparency. Those are the foundations of a strong case. Because ultimately, Immigration New Zealand is asking one key question. Does this application genuinely demonstrate that the adopted child can lawfully and safely enter New Zealand while citizenship processing continues? If the answer is yes, your application becomes far stronger. And remember this, these applications are not just administrative processes. They are life-changing family transitions. The better prepared you are, the smoother that transition can become. Because one honest and well-prepared application is far more powerful than a thick folder full of random paperwork. And you have come to the right place to get all your visa applications sorted in a hassle-free and professional manner. If you found this video valuable, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel because we break down real immigration pathways, real strategies, and real insights so you can make the right decisions without falling into common traps. And our expert team and associates can assist you to simplify this entire complex process and guide you from start to finish with complete peace of mind. Do get in touch with us now on our WhatsApp mobile number +642217860007, also provided in the comment section of this video, and we will get in touch with you as soon as possible. Your journey deserves the right start, and it starts with the right consultation. And now you have it. Thank you for watching.